How has life changed since The Ultimate Fighter?
Day-to-day life, I had a little bit of money, which I spent very, very quickly. Apart from that, nothing really. You know, I train with the same guys. It's just every now and then someone recognises you from the show and comes up and says, "How you doing?" Blah blah blah, which is cool. But apart from that, not an awful amount. In the fight world, getting to be in the UFC and be a part of that, it's definitely helped. But my life, I wouldn't say my life has changed. It's a bit of a big statement.
So you're fighting Andrew Craig on Saturday. What were your first thoughts when you kind of heard about the matchup?
I was surprised to be fighting Andrew because he's had 4 fights in the UFC. He's ranked in the top 25. He's like 21st in the UFC at the moment. So it's quite a big opportunity for me to fight a guy like Andrew. He's an established guy. I expected someone a little bit more lower tier, which is great for me, and I was happy with that. I asked for some pretty big names, so I think Joe Silva took that information and thought, Andrew's willing to travel because he's fought in Brazil, Australia, now he'll be fighting in England. So I think that's how the matchup got put together, and I was very happy with it. And I didn't really consider him as an opponent when I was looking at opponents. So when the name popped up first away, I was like, I don't know much about him. And then I looked into it, and I think it's a great fight for me, and I'm happy with it.
What do you think of him as a fighter?
I think he's very good, very resilient, very athletic guy. Tough to finish, tough to beat. Like you said, he's been in with like Rafael Natal and Chris Lieben and Ronnie Marks, who are all pretty strong, good guys, and none of them have been able to finish him. So that's my goal in this fight, is to get a finish, to finish the guy that no one can finish at the moment. So really stamp authority on the fight and take a win that way.
And how do you think your styles are going to match up on Saturday?
I think very well. I think we both like to bang. We both like to stand up and hit each other. Doesn't wrestle a lot. He does every now and then, but he's more of a stand-up guy. And I expect a very scrappy fight. I think neither of us are like world-class wrestlers or world-class jiu-jitsu guys. So we both sort of come from the same background, and we're learning MMA as we go. And I think that will show on the night. It'll be like a dog-eat-dog fight, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So I think it'll be definitely an exciting fight for the fans.
Do you think he's going to present you with any challenges?
Not really. Like I said, I don't think he's got anything where I think, I don't want to be there with Andrew. I think I can compete with him across the board, every single position, every place, standing, wrestling, on the ground. There's nowhere I really think he'll dominate the fight, which is what makes an exciting fight. And I think it's the same for me. I don't think there's anywhere, apart from my range, where I have a huge advantage on Andrew. I think it's just pressure, keeping the fight going forward, and getting that knockout punch, which is harder said than done.
And what's your
Easier said than done. Sorry.
What's your day-to-day schedule been like on the run-up to the fight?
Same as always. I pretty much do I train 3 times a day, then I train 2 times a day, then I train once a day, then I train 2 times, then I train 3 times, then I train once, and then I train once. So I train every day, but the intensity changes every day. I've done a lot more strength and conditioning since I had before, because I'm competing with a high-level athlete in the UFC. But it's been the same as it has for all my fights. I've brought in a couple of good sparring partners and trained with a few different bodies, but same as always.
And have you been training with Jimmy Manuel for this fight?
Me and Jimmy, we caught up a couple. I think sparred with him, every week for about 4 weeks. Just because, again, he's a bigger body, hits very hard. He's just a great guy to be around, and we get good training together. He needed the training as well, because it's hard to find very good big people, so I was very happy to have the opportunity to train with Jimmy. Went down to his gym, in East Croydon, and got some good workouts in.
Have you watched any footage of Andrew, and if so, what do you think of his past performances?
I've watched every fight about 100 times for the last 6 weeks. I always watch. The UFC sent me all of his fights, and I think he does very well to come back from bad situations. His best performance, is probably his Carl Noak fight, which was his first fight in the UFC. He was getting smashed by Rafael Natal and then knocked him out of a head kick. So it shows that he's hard to put away. The fight's never over when you're fighting Andrew Craig, because he'll always try and win. Which is something you can't train. It's hard to find, and he's a good athlete. So that's the battles you have. He's a good athlete and he doesn't give up, and that in itself, is something you have to overcome. Technically, there's nothing really I look at and I think, I'm gonna struggle with that. I just got to pile on the pressure.
And how do you think the fight's going to pan out?
I think I'm gonna pile on the pressure. I'm gonna keep the centre of the cage, and I'm just gonna pepper him with shots and wait for that big shot to open up. And I think he's gonna get desperate, and that's when I'll get a knockout.
Okay, so you're looking for a knockout. You think that's how it's going to end?
Yeah, well, fans want to see knockouts. You know, that's what I want to do. I want to be a stand-up fighter. I want to be a guy that excites the fans, and you know, I want to knock people out. So I'm looking for a knockout. You know, later on in the second round. First round was going to be very hard to get that sort of opportunity. I think I need to frustrate, move around a lot, and then really plant my feet and land some big shots in the second round.
So Chael Sonnen is going to be in your corner, isn't he, on Saturday? Do you feel that he might take away a little bit of your limelight?
It feels like it right now. No, I'm only joking. Yeah, Chael, obviously he deserves all the limelight he gets, but he's very good at not doing that. You know, I choose to have him there. It's not like he asked me and we said, yeah, we spoke about it. If it was a negative thing, he wouldn't be there. You know, I don't just have him there. I think he'll be great, and he's very good at like fading into the background. You know, he's not a guy who wants the cameras on him, wants the lights on him. He just wants to. He knows it's about me. Same with the Ultimate Fighter when he coached the show. The show was about us. It wasn't about him being the coach. It was about everyone else and building their careers. And that's why he's here. He's here to help me. He's not here to, you know, it's a big inconvenience for him to come over for a 16-hour flight. He's not coming over here to get in front of the camera and say something. He's getting in front of it. He's getting over here to, you know, be there for me. So.
And what's that like? Obviously having his support throughout your career.
Yeah, I mean, he's been a part of it for the last year, and it's great. You know, I don't know why we get on so well or whatever, but you know, it's just good to have a guy like that in your corner, and he's one of the top guys at the moment. You know, he's doing the broadcasting, he's fighting the best guys in the world, and just to have his experiences and even just be around him. You know, I was around him for 4 months training for John Jones, and just seeing how he does things and how he acts, and you know, just gives you a lot of confidence. So having him believe in me is great.
Has he given you any good advice for Saturday?
It gives me good advice all the time. In particular, nothing for the fight, but for the last year, just little golden snippets that, you know, I'll leave him to tell the cameras. But yeah, he's a great influence on me, and he keeps me calm. And you know, every now and then he'll text me and say like I'm his ace in the pack or something stupid like that, and it gives you a little bit of a confidence. Very American, but it gives you a little bit of a confidence boost.
And finally, how's weight cutting going for you? Are you on track?
I'm better than on track. It's the best weight cut I've probably ever going to have. I'm not far off weight now, and you can see I'm quite lively moving around. So it's been the best lead up for a fight I've ever had. I've got no injuries, nothing wrong with me. I feel 100%. So I'm just, you know, waiting for weigh-in day, and then I get to eat, and then I get to fight. You know, and then drinks in Manchester afterwards.
Nice, thank you. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you.
Cheers.